Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of the Signal Oil Company program, The Whistler. This program goes back very late in the run, this to May 18th, 1952. This episode entitled The Determined Traveler.
The Signal Oil Program, The Whistler.
Signal.
Signal gasoline. Signal, the famous Go Farther gasoline, invite you to sit back and enjoy another strange story by The Whistler.
I am the Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadows. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now for the Signal Oil Company, The Whistler's strange story, Determined Traveler.
Standing in the lobby of the Hotel Continental in Pisa, Italy, with a group of some 20 other tourists, Clara Marshall, age 25, and attractive enough to draw attention anywhere, was smiling quietly to herself, and with good reason. Yes, Clara, for the past 8 months you've handled things perfectly, haven't you? Wanted by the Chicago police for your part in a series of fraudulent stock transactions, you slipped out of town and covered your tracks so successfully they lost all trace of you. Some weeks later, in a Los Angeles bookstore, you casually made the acquaintance of elderly, wealthy Harriet Wilson. And you took full advantage of this chance meeting, didn't you, Clara? Yes. Now you're not only her trusted employee, but her friend and traveling companion on a tour of Europe, waiting on a foggy Italian morning to accompany her on a guided tour of Pisa.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm forced to cancel today's tour. Too foggy.
Oh, but, Guy, the streetcars are running. You needn't drive the bus.
I'm sorry, Miss Marshall. It would be impossible to take a group this size through the foggy city on streetcars. It's too dangerous.
But we don't plan to come through this city again. And Miss Wilson had so counted on seeing the Leaning Tower. Isn't that right, Harriet?
Yes, I had looked forward to
And
it.
you know we're leaving this afternoon. Please, Guy, won't you reconsider?
Miss Marshall, in the interest of the group as a whole, I'm sorry, really.
Pardon me, miss. I couldn't help overhearing it. Seems a shame that visitors who are so interested in seeing historical places shouldn't see them.
Well, it looks as if not much is going to be done about that.
Well, I was going to suggest that I'd be glad to take you to the Leaning Tower. It really isn't far from here.
Oh, would you? Oh, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it, Harriet?
Well, why, yes, it would.
Well, good. Let's not lose any time. This way, ladies.
You smile, don't you, Clara? Leaving the hotel and boarding the crowded streetcar. And as you steal a glance at the stranger, you notice that he's studying you, too, very closely, as if memorizing every detail about you. Harriet, meanwhile, is quite excited about the whole adventure as the car rattles along the street.
Clara, just think about going through the streets of Pisa, in the fog, and on a streetcar. It's all so thrilling.
It was nice of you to offer to escort us. It means a lot to see places we've seen in pictures so often.
I want to go to the top of the tower and look down.
They say that's where Galileo proved his theory about weights falling at the same rate of speed, you know.
Oh, yes. I'd like to try dropping something.
You'll have to excuse me, ladies. I'm sorry.
What?
I won't be able to take you to the tower today after all.
What? Well, Well, you said it wasn't far.
I'm really sorry, but it's unavoidable. Let's get off at the next stop.
It seems we have no choice.
Oh, but in this fog.
You'll be all right. Get off at the third stop on the returning car, and you'll be right at your hotel.
As we'll remember.
I'm sorry, really. It's just that I have an important appointment. It's later than I realized.
This just isn't my day. Thanks anyway, Mr.
Hungate, Raymond Hungate. I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.
As the three of you step from the streetcar, Raymond slips something into your pocket, quickly puts his fingers to his lips to silence you. And suddenly he's gone into the fog. As you look around, you notice two men who left the streetcar just before it pulled away hurry off in the same direction that Raymond took. You feel sure they're following him, don't you, Clara? Harriet seems concerned only with watching for a returning car. She seems relieved as it appears.
My goodness, I'll be glad when we get back to the hotel. Little did I think we'd be left here in the fog.
I'm sure it'll all work out okay. Don't worry, dear.
But he seemed such a nice young man.
Well, we tried, Harriet. Can't win every time.
Well, back at last. This hotel room looks good to me. My, to think he offered to take us there, only to leave us stranded in the middle of a strange city in the fog.
Well, I believe he meant to take us, but something he couldn't help caused him to leave.
Oh, perhaps you're right. Oh. Now that we're back safe and sound, I'll admit it was a thrill. And he was nice looking, wasn't he?
Yes. And it seemed he was going to be an interesting guide.
He was an American, but seemed very much at ease here in this foreign land. I wonder where...
Harriet, I believe it's best not to discuss this with the others on the tour.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Well, they'd have the laugh on us if they knew the details. Let's admit we didn't get to the tower, but forget the rest.
You're right, my dear. I wonder what the others are doing now.
I'm probably playing bridge. Why don't you go down and see if they have enough for full tables?
I believe I shall. Don't you want to come along?
Not right now, but let's keep this our secret. Between you and me, I believe we'll see Mr. Raymond Hungate again.
Oh, I do hope so. My, isn't this romantic? Wouldn't it be something, Clara, if you met your future husband here in Italy on a foggy day?
You're going overboard, Harriet. It's time you joined your friend.
All right, but I like the idea anyway. You'll join us soon.
In a little while, Harriet, yes.
You feel relieved when the door finally closes, don't you, Clara? And you cross the room quickly. Get Raymond's package from the pocket of your coat. You unwrap it, open the box carefully, and gasp as you view its contents.
A necklace. A beautiful diamond necklace.
You're startled, aren't you, Clara? As you wonder if a fortune in jewels was actually thrust into your hands, if the diamonds of the necklace are real. It seems unlikely that a perfect stranger would entrust you with something so valuable. But as the tour moves on to the city of Rome, you manage to leave Harriet for a short time and seek out a reliable-looking jewelry store.
I want to see if the clasp on a necklace is all right.
I'd be very glad to help you, miss.
Here it is.
Che bella cosa. My, how that's beautiful. And so well designed. Worth many thousands of American dollars, eh?
Well, I suppose.
But it is, miss, I know. A very valuable piece.
The clasp seems all right?
Yes, it seems in perfect order. But it is well to be careful.
Thank you so much. You see, my employer wanted to wear it tomorrow evening, but wanted to be sure that it would be safe.
Oh, yes, I understand. Now, could I show you anything while you're here?
Not now, thank you, but what you tell me about the necklace is most assuring indeed.
May 18th, 1952, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medishare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Thanks for tuning into Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of The Whistler, the Determined Traveler from May 18th, 1952.
Signal, signal, signal gasoline. Your car will go far the gasoline.
Well, Clara, events have conspired to bring you luck, haven't they? Unexpectedly, a man named Raymond Hungate, escorting you to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, deserted you, but left a valuable diamond necklace in your coat pocket. Now you find yourself thinking about the two determined-looking men who were following Mr. Hungate, and you realize that if by chance they caught up with him, the necklace will remain yours. But shortly after leaving the jewelry shop in Rome, you suddenly become aware of someone walking at your side. You look up quickly, recognize the man you met in Pisa, Raymond Hungate. He speaks quietly as you near a small basement restaurant.
Would you like some refreshments, Miss Marshall?
No, no thanks.
Oh, come on, be sociable. After all, we have something important to discuss.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I think this little basement restaurant should prove an interesting place. Yeah, nice and quiet. Table for two, please.
This way?
How about that one in the back corner?
Very good, sir.
Yeah. For now, we'd just like some coffee. Perhaps something else later on.
Oh, very good, sir.
Now, tell me, have you been enjoying your trip since you were so rudely left in the fog in Pisa?
Yes, but no thanks to you.
Oh, I apologize. It was unforgivable to leave you stranded, but believe me, it was most necessary.
So I gathered. Did your friends catch up with you?
No. Oh, thanks to the fog, they didn't. And I want you to know I appreciated your cooperation.
Think nothing of it.
Your coffee, sir?
Thank you. Were you satisfied that the diamonds were real? I noticed you were having a jeweler look the necklace over.
Just making sure the clasp was in good condition.
You'd have felt rather foolish if the clerk had recognized that necklace as a stolen one.
Is it?
Could be. Or hadn't you guessed? But if you'd known, you would, of course, have taken it to the authorities.
No, I've thought about it. And then I thought about something else, Mr. Hungate. How would you like a partner?
Did you say a partner?
Well, don't be so overwhelmed. You already have one, you know. Otherwise, I would have turned the necklace over to the police.
You're right.
You see, it could be an interesting setup. If you're interested in stolen or black market jewelry, you'll sooner or later be suspected. Perhaps your room and luggage searched. And eventually you'll be caught.
That isn't a very pretty picture.
I'm serious. If someone were to take the jewels and keep them for you, someone who wouldn't be suspected, someone, say, who's just on a sightseeing tour. Wouldn't it make your work easier?
I'm beginning to see your point. However, what about your traveling companion? She seems quite a chatterbox.
Harriet, she'd be an asset. She's already set up a storybook romance for us. I'm sure she'd keep quiet about our seeing one another from time to time. Perhaps given the story that you're on some dangerous secret mission.
Mine might have some advantages. But how do I know I can trust two women?
Haven't you already found out? For my part, I can use some extra income. I'm getting somewhat fed up playing nursemaid to Harriet Wilson.
Well, I'll give it some thought.
Meanwhile, do you want me to keep the necklace for you?
Why, yes. You might as well. Partner.
I thought so.
You feel quite proud of yourself, don't you, Clara? You've talked Raymond Hungate into a partnership in his jewel collecting. Of course, you haven't found the source of the jewelry he passed along to you, but you do know that it's very valuable. That's why you keep the gems well hidden. And since it's necessary to keep your meetings with Raymond secret from the other tourists, you encourage Harriet to continue with her romantic ideas.
Clara, my dear, I can't tell you how happy it makes me to know that you found such an exciting and adventurous friend.
He is nice.
Nice. He's wonderful. And to think he's in the Foreign Secret Service for our government.
Shh, not so loud.
Oh, sorry, dear.
Well, it could mean his life, you know, if people found out about that. He shouldn't even have told me.
Oh, now, don't worry, Clara. I'll be careful. You can count on that.
Thank you.
Oh, but imagine meeting such a thrilling man here in a foreign land. He falls in love with you, and eventually, wedding bells.
Oh, please, Harriet. I'll admit Raymond is fascinating, and I'm pleased with his attention, but, well, he hasn't asked me yet.
Oh, but he will. This young man's in love with you, and you're in love with him, too. I can tell.
I'm afraid you have spring fever, Harriet.
Oh, you've been a changed person since you met him. You were always pleasant and nice to me. But now you seem to be, well, up in the clouds, you know.
Maybe I am a little, but anyway, we keep this to ourselves.
Oh, yes, of course. You can count on me.
Things are going smoothly, aren't they, Clara? You've made Harriet believe you and Raymond are deeply in love, and you're sure she will never question any of your meetings with him. You and Harriet accompany the others on the various tours of Rome and the surrounding country. But you also manage to see Raymond frequently. From time to time, he adds other gems to his jewel collection, and he seems pleased with the arrangements you suggested. And then one day, you're a bit delayed in one of your scheduled meetings. You approach the back booth of a little cafe to find Raymond reading a letter.
I didn't see you come in, Clara.
You're slipping, Raymond. I thought you must always be on guard.
I'm not worried. Even if accused, I have no loot for anyone to find. Not today.
You seem very absorbed in your letter. Is it from the folks back home?
Hardly. Don't be so inquisitive.
Partners have a right to share, remember? Besides, I noticed it's from a Rocco jewelry company in Naples. You ought to meet someone.
Fast reader, aren't you?
Oh, I'm a smart kid.
Perhaps. But don't get too smart for your own good, huh?
Could I, darling?
Easily. Here, read the letter if you're so interested.
An appointment at 11 p.m. in Naples day after tomorrow. 11 p.m.? Isn't that a bit late?
Not for a friend.
A friend. The kind that exchanges gems for greenbacks?
A lady is a genius.
It adds up. An appointment at 11 at night in Naples, a friend. This man's your fence, isn't he?
You're giving the answers. But I'll give you credit, you're usually right.
We haven't discussed shares. How do I come in?
You'll get what's coming to you, all right.
50-50?
Now, that would be real nice, wouldn't it?
There are some real nice jewels I've been carrying around. Now, how about my share? 50-50?
It's a bit high.
Partners, though. Well?
You drive a hard bargain, honey. But you do know the answers.
Interesting, isn't it, Clara? When you return to the United States, you'll be a rich woman. The jewels Raymond has accumulated are worth a small fortune, and it shouldn't be long until you receive your share. Raymond admits he has an appointment with a man named Rocco in Naples to make the exchange. The jewels for a sum of money beyond your dreams. 2 days later, you're on the train to Naples. An hour or so before you arrive, you knock softly on the door to Raymond Hungate's compartment.
Oh, Clara, come on in. Anyone see you?
Of course not.
Yeah. Bring the stuff in your purse?
Yes. They laughed when I bought this purse, said I didn't need any more luggage. But it has come in handy. There they are. Look at them sparkle.
Oh, pretty.
Beautiful. Just think, how much would you say? 50,000 for little Clara?
Well, Rocco will want a commission, but they'll probably bring about 75 grand. Yeah, it's not bad for a few weeks' work.
Not bad at all. And even 37,500 is slightly more than my usual income.
Clara, we might as well understand each other.
What?
You've had some good ideas, and you've been very helpful.
Thank you, darling.
But you can get in the way. You take much too much for granted.
Oh, come now, smile when you say that.
Why? Clara, the game is over. I'm about ready to cash in, and I don't need any excess baggage.
You're joking. Look, you don't
Can't
mean
you figure
that
the picture this time? We're almost into Naples. Your body can be found by the railroad tracks. By the time you're identified, I'll be in Naples. Have the dough. And be on a boat to the good old USA.
Don't be ridiculous. She'll be caught in a minute. What about Harriet?
You've taken care of that.
What?
Harriet will only be able to tell them that she understands the job I have is very dangerous. That somehow you must have been killed by the man I was tracking down, or perhaps by accident. After all, she thinks we're so much in love.
Don't be a fool, Raymond. Put that gun away.
Stand near the window, Clara. When the next train whistle sounds,
Put it away!
You grab at Raymond's arm. Try and seize the gun as the two of you struggle. You look at the body of Raymond Hungate, slumped on a seat. Try to realize that you've killed him. You listen, expecting to hear people come clamoring into the compartment. But no one does. You realize that your struggle and the gunshot occurred during the outside noise, and that even as Raymond planned it, no one heard a thing. You look around the room, open the window and toss the gun out. Then you get Raymond's wallet, tear out the identification, put Rocco's letter into your purse. And of course, most important of all, you take all the gems. Now certain there's not a trace to suggest your having been with Raymond. You quickly return to your own compartment.
Oh, Clara, back so soon? I was just writing some postcards.
That's nice.
I'm surprised Mr. Hungate would let you leave so soon. You seem quiet, dear. Is something wrong?
I'd rather not talk about it.
Oh, come now. You had a quarrel.
Please, Harriet, let's not discuss it.
But, Clara, I thought he was about to propose.
There's not going to be any wedding. I can assure you I never want to see Raymond Hungate again.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, you'll feel better tomorrow, Clara.
No, I'm through.
From May 18th, 1952, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion comes up following these important messages from your favorite station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of The Whistler, The Determined Traveler, from May 18th, 1952.
In fact, Harriet, let's get everything together so that when we get to Naples, we can get off the train right away and take a cab to the hotel and not wait for the rest of the tour.
Clara!
No, I mean it, Harriet. Like I said, I'm through with Raymond Hungate. Forever.
Well, Clara, it's over, isn't it? Complete. As you hurry from the station, pretending that you want to avoid Raymond Hungate, knowing that his body is waiting to be discovered in his compartment. You're certain, too, that you left no trace of your having been there at all. But you do have the jewels safely put away in your purse. And you know where you can exchange them for currency, a great deal of it. And since you're to sail for the United States soon, your future looks very promising, doesn't it? And then, there's a knock at the door of your hotel suite.
Yes?
Miss Marshall? Clara Marshall?
Yes.
I represent the American consulate, Miss Marshall.
Well, surely our passports are in order.
Quite. I'm here on another matter. This is Police Chief Antrini.
Police? But why?
May we come in?
Of course we do. Please, sit down.
Who is it, Clara?
The gentleman from the consulate and the chief of police, Harriet. This is my employer, Miss Wilson, gentlemen.
Oh, how do you do? Oh, this visit is quite flattering. You see, we're planning to leave for the States in a few days. Oh, we've had such a wonderful tour of the continent. Nice of you two gentlemen to drop in this way.
I am afraid that my business may prevent your departure, Missy.
Oh?
You see, there has been a murder.
A murder? But who?
A man named Raymond Hungate.
Raymond Hungate? Oh, how terrible. Why, we saw him only today.
Well, surely there's some mistake.
The police still have some checking to do, Miss Marshall. But Chief Antrini would like you to come down to his office.
Oh, but this is hard to believe. It's such a shock. We knew Raymond's job with the Secret Service was very dangerous.
Harriet, there may be some mistake.
Oh, I do hope so. Anyway, I'll go along to identify him if it is Raymond. Oh, Sarah, my poor dear
I'm sure you misunderstand, Miss Wilson. Chief Antrini is arresting Miss Marshall on suspicion of murder.
What?
That is who?
Well, that's preposterous. You've no reason whatever to suspect me.
I think we have. We found Hungate's body in a compartment of a train that just arrived in Naples. He'd been shot, and the murder weapon is missing, as well as his own identification papers. But a card of Miss Harriet Wilson here gave us the answer.
What?
You mean the card I slipped under the door of Raymond's compartment just before we left the train?
Harriet, you didn't.
I'm afraid she did,
Oh.
Mr. Marshall.
They were such a romantic couple. I couldn't let them break up.
Miss Marshall, read the message on the card.
Raymond Hungate, I'm sure you and Clara have just had a lover's quarrel, and that all will work out all right. You'll be staying at the Imperial Hotel in Naples, signed Harriet Wilson.
Well, Miss Marshall?
All right, I did know him, but that doesn't say I killed him.
No. But we know that Raymond Hungate had an appointment with a man named Rocco this evening to dispose of some stolen jewels. Hungate thought Rocco was a friend. Actually, Rocco was working with the police.
Very interesting. But what does all this have to do with me?
Nothing. Unless you have the jewels. If you do, that's all we need for a conviction. Miss Marshall, let me see your purse.
Let that whistle be your signal for the Signal Oil program, The Whistler, each Sunday night at the same time. Meantime, Signal Oil Company and the friendly independent dealers who help you go farther with Signal gasoline hope you'll remember. Regardless of what gasoline you use, you'll enjoy more miles of happy driving if you drive at sensible speeds, obey traffic regulations, and avoid taking chances. You may even save a life, possibly your own. Featured in tonight's story were Bill Foreman as the Whistler, Betty Lou Gerson, Gerald Moore, Norma Varden, Jay Novello, and Byron Kane. The Whistler was produced and directed by George W. Allen, with story by Winifred Henson, music by Wilbur Hatch, and was transmitted overseas by the Armed Forces Radio Service.
May 18th, 1952, The Whistler on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Radio? Why should I advertise on radio? There's nothing to look at, no pictures.
Listen, you can do things on radio you couldn't possibly do on TV.
That'll be the day.
All right, watch this. Okay, people, and now when I give you the cue, I want the 700-foot mountain of whipped cream to roll into Lake Michigan, which has been drained and filled with hot chocolate. Then the Royal Canadian Air Force will fly overhead towing a 10-ton maraschino cherry, which will be dropped into the whipped cream to the cheering of 25,000 extras. All right, cue the mountain. Cue the Air Force. Cue the maraschino cherry. Okay, 25,000 cheering extras.
Now, you want to try that on television?
Well...
You see, radio is a very special medium because it stretches the imagination.
Doesn't television stretch the imagination?
Up to 27 inches, yes.
She was born in a humble shack amidst the lemon groves of Goleta, California.
Mommy, don't cry. You know what they say? When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I was going to say life sucks, and then you die. But I like yours better.
And with that, Alexandra Johnson launched her lemonade stand.
Lemonade, nickel a glass.
Every day, even during the frigid California winters, a bone-chilling 72 degrees, you could find her.
You can have it sour, you can have it sweet. Little girl's lemonade will knock you off your feet.
The little girl with the sour brew wanted more, national distribution, franchises, and so she rolled out a well-budgeted advertising campaign.
Me and the rest of the dockwakers only drink little girl lemonade.
She was made president of the International Sour Drink Association and chosen to give the keynote speech at their convention.
You all set with words of wisdom, honey? You know what they say, Mommy. Always advertise so consumers think of your product first. I was going to say never swallow a lemon seed or a watermelon on your tummy.
This fabricated but interesting story is to remind you that it's called advertising and it works.
Put your message on this national advertising platform by emailing classicradiotheater@gmail.com. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode from May 18th, 1948.
And now, Claudia.
Didn't see you. Be right there. Well, now, what can I do for you, miss?
Well, I see you have a sign out, fresh eggs.
That's right.
And the store in the village is closed, so if you could let me have a dozen?
Be glad to. 67 cents for the large and 61 for the medium. Sometimes I have pulled eggs, but I ain't got any today. I'm sorry.
Dear, that's awfully expensive.
Laid this morning. White or brown. Take your choice.
Well, how much are the brown eggs?
Brown? Well, same price as the white ones, miss.
Oh, well, in New York, brown eggs are quite a lot cheaper.
In Boston, they're quite a lot more expensive.
Oh, and in Connecticut, they're the same price, I see.
Mm-hmm. Connecticut's about halfway between. Be that as it may, eggs is eggs to them as knows 'em. The hens get the same feed. They're treated just the same. So there's absolutely no reason for brown eggs to be cheaper.
No, I suppose you're right about that. Besides, once they're fried, nobody'd know whether they're brown or white in the first place anyway.
Precise. It's a superstition, so to speak.
Yeah.
How many dozen did you say you wanted?
One will be fine.
One? All right. There you are, ma'am. They're all done up and ready.
Thank you. And here you are.
Come again, ma'am, and, ain't you the people who bought the Tucker place a spell down the road?
Yes, we are.
Uh-huh.
We're so near, we hear your roosters crowing every morning.
Huh. Talking of roosters, what about some chickens? Got some fine broilers, roasters, fryers, too.
Well, if you can broil a fryer, I could have it for dinner tonight.
Broilers is fryers, miss. 44 a pound.
Oh, well, that's very reasonable. They're 59 at Franco's.
Self-same broilers. I sell my chickens to Franco.
You mean there's that much difference in price?
Right.
Well, Franco certainly has a nerve.
Precise.
I should have known it'd be cheaper to buy off a farm than out of a butcher.
How many, ma'am? Broiler, rooster, fryer?
Fryer, please.
Uh-huh.
And one will do, thank you. If it's large enough, that is.
Right. I'll fetch him.
Will he be nice and fresh?
So fresh he'll be crowing. Come along. You can take your pick. Oh, careful of that wire there.
Oh, thank you.
I don't want you to trip now.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm getting used to farms. My, what a lot of chickens.
Yeah.
They all look like little fat old ladies in gingham aprons.
That's the Plymouth Rock. Nice, tender eating. Hey, there's a nice young fella there.
Oh, he's lovely.
All right, I'll see if I can get him for you. Here, boy. Here. Confound it. There I got him.
But he's alive. With his feathers and everything.
Well, certainly. Only sell him alive.
But we want him to... I mean, you see, we don't want a pet. We want him for dinner.
Well, yeah, sure thing. You buy a chicken on a chicken farm around here, and you buy him alive.
Oh, well, then I'm sorry. I don't think I'm interested.
It's up to you, ma'am, but this is the freshest kind of chicken you can buy.
Well, I think maybe he's just a little too fresh for me.
Well, have it your own way, ma'am. I guess you're city folk, all right.
You mean to say it's only city folk who buy dead chickens?
Yep, that's what I mean.
Oh, I see.
Of course, if you want to go down to Franco's, if it was open, waste the gas in your car, and spend 15 cents a pound more for the same bird, well, it's up to you.
Well, I must say everything you say makes sense. Except he's alive. Just listen to him.
Well, like I say, ma'am, it's up to you. But, look here. Now, just see how nice and fat this broiler is.
He's not a broiler yet. I think we ought to call him a rooster. To his face, anyway.
Just look. There's lots of fine white meat. Tender as butter, and just as sweet. 44 cents instead of 59. 3 pounds, 3 ounces. Tell you what, I'll let you have him for $1.35.
Maybe you'd do it for me?
Huh? Do it? Oh, sorry, ma'am. We just sell 'em live. That way, even the feathers belongs to you.
So awfully pretty.
Got your car here, ma'am?
Yes.
Well, I'll just tie the little feller's feet together so as it'll be easy to tote him along with you.
Look, I don't think he likes being held upside down like that.
He don't mind. Birds don't get dizzy.
How can you be so sure?
And, look here, ma'am. This is the way you hang him after you've chopped off his head.
I've changed my mind. Please untie him.
Well, he'll jump out of the car
No,
if
what
I do.
I mean is I'll just take the eggs.
But after I got him all fixed up and... looky here, miss. You're making a big mistake, because once you get the habit of buying poultry fresh off the farm, well, you just don't go back to the other way, and that's the truth.
I won't, you're sure?
I'll put him right in the car for you, ma'am. Sit him down right next to you in the front seat.
Oh, if you don't mind, I'd rather not get so well acquainted.
Huh?
If it's all the same with you.
Well, now, look at my wife. She don't think twice about it now. Just remember, chop his head off.
Yeah, I'll remember, thank you, but I wish I could forget. So does he.
Claudia? Is that
Mama? It's us, Mama.
Oh, is David home already? You better have the omelet then. Did you bring the eggs?
Yes, I brought the eggs. But, Mama, listen, who likes an omelet, really? It's just an unformulated mess of chicken, that's all.
What are you talking about? And what on earth?
Isn't he pretty, though?
Where'd you get him?
Where I got the eggs. He's just a very precocious egg, that's all.
What for? Where do you get him?
I got him for dinner. He's a broiler. 3 pounds, 3 ounces, aren't you, babe?
But he's alive.
And kicking, even tied up. Oh, I had an awful time in the car with him.
Oh, why did you do it, you crazy child?
Mama, country people always buy poultry on the hoof.
Who said so?
The man I bought him from. Well, he didn't say on the hoof exactly, but that's what it amounts to. I think I ought to untie his hoofs, don't you? He doesn't seem very comfortable, poor little.
That's nothing to what he's going to be.
Mama, stop making such a face. Do you know how much I saved? 15 cents a pound. That's a lot.
When the chicken is plucked and cleaned, he'll end up a lot more expensive than if you'd bought him at the butcher's.
Oh, nonsense. You're a killjoy. Which is rather fortunate on the whole, because all you have to do is just chop his head.
All I have to do...
Oh, very simple. The man says his wife does it all the time. And if his wife does it, surely my mother is just as smart. What?
Your mother is leaving this kitchen immediately.
Mama, you can't do this to me. In my condition.
Well, you should have thought of that before.
Before what? Oh, Mama, it was like a bad dream. All I could think of was the 15 cents a pound.
Oh, you and your bargains. Here, put him on the table, and I'll get the scissors.
You can't do it with the scissors.
I just want to untie his legs.
Oh. And then what?
Well, then I think we should let him walk around and stretch himself.
That's a good idea, Mrs. Brown. He's quite an active little rooster, isn't he?
Better close that door so he doesn't get in the living room.
He has black eyes, just like little beads. I never knew a simple rooster could have so much personality.
Claudia, I do wish you'd never brought him home.
Well, I guess that means we better wait for David to do it.
After all, it's man's work.
And David is so manly about man's work, he won't mind. Will he?
Oh, don't ask me. He's your husband.
Yes, he's my husband. But he never was my husband with a rooster in the kitchen before. Oh, I wish he'd come. Oh, shut up. You're supposed to wish he wouldn't.
The longer I watch this rooster, the less I think of him as a broiler.
Me too. Well, I better get ready to go to the station. It's almost time.
And leave me alone with this... What's that?
It's a car. It's a taxi pulling away from the house.
Hello! Hello!
Darling, what's the matter?
That's a fine welcome. Nothing's the matter. Caught the early train, and I didn't want you to drive down to the station in a hurry.
Very sensible, and we're very glad to see you. You haven't any idea.
What was that?
What was that?
That sounded like a rooster crowing.
Rooster crowing?
Mama, he's been drinking again.
Oh, dear. I suppose he thinks he hears it again.
Hey, now, what's got into you two?
Nothing. Yet.
Where is it? It's under the stove.
And the trick is to get it in the stove.
Here he comes.
Now, wait a minute, I'll get him.
Trusting little fool. Here, kitty.
Smart how he answers to Kitty.
Oh, isn't he smart?
I'm seeing things. Call a doctor immediately.
We'd prefer a butcher.
Mama, stop saying that in front of him. Makes him nervous.
Him? Who?
The rooster, not you.
Oh.
Well, you see, he's your dinner, David.
Oh. Which of you two women is responsible for this?
Me. He was a bargain.
I see.
We get the feathers and everything.
And when you buy broilers this way, David, you're sure they're fresh.
Fresh, eh? Well, he might be fresh, but he looks skinny.
Oh, he isn't, though. He's 3 pounds, 3 ounces, and very tender.
No. Well, then why isn't he cooking?
He will be. Any minute now.
I see.
Do you want to use a knife or a hatchet? What's so funny? What's the matter?
So that's it. You two sissies, you.
Sissies.
Well, we've known him longer than you have.
Besides, you're a man, and you're always bragging about it.
There are times when I could cheerfully wring your two necks.
Shh, David, not in front of him. He's very sensitive.
Oh,
Please.
sorry, old boy. Come here, Mama.
What?
Come in closer.
What?
I have an idea.
What?
I won't use the axe. I will use a hatchet.
I can't bear it.
I'm leaving.
Now, come here, old boy.
Don't go near him, Rooster. David, unhand that bird.
Unhand him?
Yes.
Well, I thought you wanted me to chop off his...
Well, I love animals around the house, and...
He looks an awful skinny animal.
That's right, Mama. He's emaciated, positively emaciated.
He wouldn't be enough for 3 people, I'm sure of that.
Besides all those feathers. Oh, David, I think he's much too old to be a broiler. He's tough as anything.
Well, where'd you buy him from?
Just down the road. David, are you going to take him back?
No, darling, I'm just going to buy him a hen.
Now that shortages are almost over, you'll find lots of improvements in your favorite shops. One of the most welcome modern services is the Coca-Cola cooler you see installed in your market, department store, and service station. It's mighty nice to be able to stop in the midst of marketing for the pause that refreshes, especially since Coca-Cola is only 5 cents.
Well, it looks like there's a new member in the family.
A Plymouth Rock rooster. Well, they're nice to have around.
I don't think any of us are going to be able to eat broilers again, however. We're too closely related.
I know what you mean.
At any rate, we won't be faced with a problem tomorrow night. David's planning to take us all out to dinner.
Well, that'll be nice if you get to where you're going.
Why shouldn't we?
Well, it could be that you'll have a little trouble with the tire on the way.
Oh, dear.
And when you have a flat tire the same day that your back porch caves in, and the back porch has to be jacked up, well, Anyway, I'm just warning you, Mrs. Brown. Eat a hearty lunch.
I'll take your advice, Joe, and I'll also be back tomorrow to find out what happens to us with a flat tire and without a jack. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Brown. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you, transcribed, with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
There you have it, Claudia, from May 18th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Would you please thank this radio station and support their advertisers? It is their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. And also, if you would visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. It's the easiest way to hear our shows on demand. You can also contact us there. You can also learn about building a classic radio collection of your own at classicradio.stream. Or if you have a mind to, you can find us through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And please, tell all your friends that great radio shows exist right here on the dial, this fine radio station, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, here on your favorite radio station.